from LoveyLoaves Rescue down in what city?
Orlando.
Oh, how far are you from Disney?
About 40 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, we're on the far east side.
Okay, I'm in like this. I'm in Safety Harbor, so I'm like an hour and 20 minutes from Disney. Thank
Oh,
God. But I'm really excited to talk to you. I've looked at your Facebook page. I've looked at everything you guys have. I've talked to you for briefly before we started this thing. I love connecting with rescue owners because I think you guys, as I'm learning and I'm growing with Jordan's Way, you guys are the absolute ultimate selfless people in this industry. Tell me first about who you're holding and tell me about your rescue.
oh goodness. Well, this is Noelle. Let me see. Little Noelle. And she is a little bipod and she's full grown. She is about a year and a half old.
Right?
And she came to us when she was 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
She was born without her front legs, so she uses a front wheel cart for her mobility.
Oh, she doesn't have front legs?
No, see,
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry. There we go.
Oh,
There.
my God. I want to direct people that are already on. Hey, Erica. Hey, Kelly. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining in so fast. I appreciate it. Lovey Loaves on Facebook. If you go to their Facebook page, please like them. Do you have Instagram?
Yes.
It's under Lovey Loaves.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna find them on Instagram, guys. But when you go there on Facebook, you'll see a picture of like the back of a wheelchair, like it's a wheelchair kind of looking thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, you guys will see that. Please like their page and follow them on Instagram. I will get their page up really quickly so you guys can see it. But I have a friend, I think I mentioned Jason Parker, who has this business that they make wheelchairs for these animals. Your rescue is based on special needs animals.
Correct.
Tell me about how many animals you have.
Well, in the little Levy house, we have 9.
Yeah.
We max out at 25 in the rescue, just because it's hard to keep track of treatment plans and vet visits, therapy. I do all of that myself, so it's hard to keep track more than 25 at a time.
Yeah. So tell me about this because I have been to so many now. I've been to seniors. I've been to a lot of puppy places, a lot of just, bigger rescues that have a bunch of dogs that were picked up in weird places. But
Mhm.
can you tell me more about the special needs? Like what animals are dealing with now?
Well,
What's a couple of different scenarios?
okay, well, we are dog only, and traditionally small dog at this point. I don't have any reason not to take large dogs except that I can't get the fosters for them.
Right.
So that really hinders what we can take in. But we take blind, deaf, carted dogs, amputees, anything that's medically complex. But because we take cart dogs, I quickly became the cart lady in Florida. So if you talk to rescues, most of them know me as the cart lady.
Is the cart lady? So when they come to you, do they have the carts or is this something that you guys provide?
Most of the time, it's something that we provide.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes we'll get a dog that came with a cart, but it's not very often.
Where do you get these carts from?
We get them from Eddie's Wheels. They're
Right.
a small family owned business. They've been doing it for about 30 years.
Yeah.
And Leslie and Ed are amazing. We just love them to death. All our guys. Um, so
Okay, so I just went to, I think I told you, a senior rescue, which is like, it was my friend Ralph's up in North Florida by the Jacksonville area, Roland Senior Dog Rescue. Those dogs were like, it was like walking into a nursing home. It was so sad. And it was even sadder for me because I'm like, this is a rescue that needs funding. Like these people like wake up to a surprise every day. You guys, if I walked into your building, are going to have a bunch of wheelchairs.
yes, they're all hanging. I'll have Ward put a picture of it on there for you. They're all hanging on the gate inside the door. So
Sherry, tell me how a morning goes.
the morning. So I get up and well, the dogs get me up. I'm never allowed to sleep in. That's never possible. So I get up. We have a 2-story house right now, which hinders us a bit. So I carry everybody downstairs
Right.
and we go through our morning routine, which is bladder expresses, the three that can go outside on their own go outside to go potty. Everybody goes in their carts, and then we feed everyone. And then it just depends. Everybody, all the dogs are a little different on what they want or what they like. Some like to be in their carts for a majority of the day. Some don't, only want to be in it for a short time. A couple of them only go in their carts when they go outside. So everybody's a little bit different. But for the most part, we are in our carts and we just do our morning routine. It takes me about an hour and a half.
Sherry, you need a reality show.
I do, right?
You right now?
I do, because I'm also raising my granddaughter who I homeschool.
Oh, wow.
This everything is a learning learning experience.
You need to package your mornings up and your night, put it into a PDF, and send it to like whoever those production companies are in California. Oh my God! Like when I first saw your website, I looked at or your Facebook page. I looked at some pictures, and I was just like, I had thought it was maybe a couple of animals that you guys have that deal with the carts, the wheelchairs. Mm-hmm. You really have to record this. Like it's unbelievable. What a selfless move. You guys only take special needs animals, and you said how many of them are using the wheelchairs?
Well, in my house right now, I have 6.
Oh my God! Is it hard to get them in it?
Nope, it's not.
How are the dogs with it? Are they? I mean, this is just normal, right?
Yeah, they are just normal. They're just normal. They don't know that they're any different. That's why I do what I do, because they're resilient. I mean, dogs in general are resilient. Animals, any animal like that. I mean, they're resilient. They don't know that they're any different. It's just like little Noelle here. She's just like, this is just how I was born.
Yep.
And, she's queen of the house. And she's the smallest one.
When somebody comes into the feed, because I think all you rescues in Florida need to get funding, and that's one of my biggest missions with Jordan's Way, especially after falling in love with all of you guys, and you're just special. I don't know how you do that. But
you can say that, I guess.
when a rescue director or owner comes on my feed to support me and support you, I just like to call them out. So I want to call out Kathy from Saving Sage Animal Rescue in South Florida. Thank you for being here. I'm with Sherry from LoveyLoaves. Guys, they only take special needs animals. They have 6 that are in wheelchairs. Also, Raza Perez from Rescue Me. That's in Miami, the Redlands. Thank you for joining the feed. Guys, this is one you really shouldn't miss. This one's interesting. Ralph from Senior Dog Rescue had senior dogs. Now, Sherry with LoveyLoaves. Now, if you guys don't like their page, I swear to you, I'm going to hit you with one of their wheelchairs. You guys have got to follow these people. This is one of the most selfless people in the business. Kathy, I know, thank you for the hearts and all that, but pay attention to Sherry. 6 of her 10 dogs at the house, 10, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have wheelchairs. And at night you hang them up?
Oh yeah, when they're not in use, they're hung up on the railing. So
oh my God.
Got to put them somewhere. And you can't just pile them up. So
I don't even know where to. I didn't know it was so much of your rescue was like that. If you don't mind me asking, the actual wheelchairs, if you don't supply them, how much does a wheelchair cost?
Depends on the size.
Okay.
Our wheelchairs they're made specifically to the dimensions of the dog. So, but they run between $350 and up. $350 for a small one. The most type that we purchase are like a small dachshund cart, and that runs about $350, $375.
Hey Kathy, that's not funny. I thought those hearts were for me. She goes, those hearts were for her, not you. Thank you. But if you guys don't notice, she has a beautiful dog that is actually missing her front legs. And for the people that are coming in a little late, I might ask you, Sherry, to repeat some things like that. Who are you holding? What's this dog's name? What's the issue?
Well, I'm going to try to show you. She just wants hugs, so it's kind of hard. But you can see here. Here's her nubbin.
Wow.
Noelle is a year and a half old. She came to me when she was 2 weeks old, and so we bottle fed her and fell in love. So she's not going anywhere. Well, this little girl is awesome for raising awareness and education. So we do a lot of education. We do some in schools, and just trying to let people know that these dogs do have a quality of life.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend, anytime we go to any type of adoption event, we're not looking to adopt dogs because we know that the people that are there are not looking to adopt a special needs dog. That's not what they came there for.
That was my follow-up question, Sherry. Like,
Yeah. So we don't do very many of those kind of outside, adoption events, but we do them. When we do them, it's mainly for education purposes. And so this little girl is great with everybody. She's awesome with kids. She's awesome with adults, men, everybody. And so I mean, there's no feeling sorry for her. When you see a little 3-pound chihuahua wheeling around, there's wagging her tail and going crazy.
yeah,
There's no feeling sorry for her. And that's the biggest thing that we say, that we hear,
yeah,
is, people, they see a dog and they see one of our dogs and they're like, oh, that poor baby. I even had shirts made. That's my shirt that says, who you calling poor baby? Because that's the first thing people say to us and to the dog. And the reality is that they're not. They don't know that they're any different. They run and they play and they do everything that a normal dog does.
yeah. I have it's kind of the same thing. I have a 2-year-old I have a special needs daughter, and she has a condition that's very rare. And whenever people are, feel bad, I'm like, look at her. She's smart. She don't feel bad for herself. I don't feel bad for her. Like she's good. Like she's the happiest kid on the planet. Like she's very muscular delayed, and people ask me, does she cry because she smiles so much? I'm like, she doesn't cry that much, but she smiles. She smiles a whole lot, but that's a whole different story. But
Right.
so, do you guys? I mean, do adoptions happen for you?
Oh, yeah. Every single dog that has come into our rescue has gotten adopted
Wow.
to date. So the thing that makes us a little bit different is that we are, because it's for us, it's not about the numbers. Every dog counts, every life counts.
Right.
And so, baby, where are you going?
You can
She's
still-
like gonna crawl. So for us, it's if a dog comes in and for whatever reason people are not interested in that dog and that dog doesn't find their home, it takes 2 years. So what? It takes 2 years.
Mhm.
And so that makes us a little bit different as well, just because we're committed to the dog. Although other rescues are also committed to their dogs,
Right.
but it's also a time thing. They're out there, beating the path trying to find the homes.
Mm.
That structure for us does not work. So we know that the home is out there, and it's a timing issue, as
Right.
when the right family comes along and finds the right dog.
Hey, Michelle, I thank you for coming in. One of my other friends from Dog Taller Dog Rescue in South Florida, as well as on. Guys, I am on with Sherry from LoveyLoaves. This rescue in Orlando is just for special needs animals. She has 6 of 10 animals in her house right now have wheelchairs. You're looking at Noelle, right?
Yes.
Noelle is missing her front legs. She's in a wheelchair, but like Sherry said, like she's the happiest dog. You wouldn't know any different. Like they don't feel bad for her. You shouldn't feel bad for her. But guys, this is a different rescue that I'm talking to. Like I don't even know how to start. Like, are they on special diets?
Most of them are.
Are they?
Most of them are because we have a lot of dogs that have IVDD, which is disc disease.
Okay.
Affects most dogs. It can affect any dog, but it affects most dogs with longer backs. Dachshunds, Shih Tzus, Cocker Spaniels. Those breeds are a little bit more predisposed to disc disease. And so we tend to see those dogs in our rescue a lot more than other breeds.
Now I'm going to get into a subject that I know is always personal, but it's passionate of mine because I'm going to get it there one day.
Right?
Why especially a rescue like yours, why is it so hard for your rescue to get funding? Like almost like government funding or state funding, especially with the situations you guys cannot take a day off. I can't imagine.
Oh no, this is 24/7 all the time. I mean, this little girl, I picked up this little girl at like 8:00 at night, the night before Christmas Eve, in a dark parking lot.
Before we talk about the funding, but what do you do if you're married? Like, what if you and your husband want to go on a vacation?
Well, to date, we have been we've been very fortunate.
Okay.
We've been very fortunate. I have a couple of really great fosters that help
Good.
us place the dogs that we have. And my mother she's also very selfless. And
Oh,
so she lived with us for 5 years. So especially at the inception of Lovey Loaves. So she is well trained in all things special needs dogs. And so I can leave certain dogs in her care as well. So we do get a vacation. I think if I didn't, it would be tough. It'd be
oh yeah.
tough. Um, but because it's so taxing. There's a lot of fatigue in it, and
Yep.
you have to, you have to do what you can when you can. I think the struggle is that small rescues like us, we cannot save them all ourselves.
Right.
It takes all of these rescues and all of the communities to do that.
Yeah,
So
that's my struggle. I've been to the top of Florida, the bottom of Florida, now going into the Orlando areas this coming week, and I always just want to know. Some areas are good by working together, like rescues will work together to help, but some aren't. Some are still on the fence.
right.
But that is just something I'm going to have to break a barrier in. I think I'm just going to have to
It's
take them
hard.
out. Yeah,
It's hard. Some rescues are great to work with, and others you're like, oh, because you
yeah,
know that they don't play well.
no,
And so, but I think the struggle with that, and this is my personal opinion,
go for
is
it.
that goes back to the funding issue. Okay, and I don't mean that I mean ultimately yes, we're competing, I guess, for funding in the sense that for donations and for individual donations. But again, like Lovey Loaves, our issue is that we don't have the numbers. Sorry, is that we don't have the numbers for those big grants. Okay, and so that's what causes the issue with us because we can't take in all those, we can't compete with somebody that takes in 1,100 dogs a week or 1,100 dogs a month. We can't compete with those people. But again, they are those types of rescues and shelters. They're dealing with healthy dogs that the turnaround time is much easier.
Right. I
We're
think
talking about dogs, they come in and they're never ready. Our dogs, they come in, they go right straight to the vet for vetting. We have to have a treatment plan. We're talking about either surgeries or therapies, um, you know, um, you know, devices, mobility devices, anything that we need to get them to where they are adoptable.
yeah.
And so that process in itself usually takes between 3 and 6 months just
Oh,
initially.
wow.
And that is not counting, okay, the fact that then once you go up for adoption, you might be for adoption for 6 months before you find the right people.
So still with rescues, I don't know many rescues, honestly, that successfully have gotten grants. I don't know many. I ask them the same questions. They usually say, no, 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 no. We don't pay people, so that's why we get denied, or
Yes.
we don't have the numbers.
Hmm.
But have you ever successfully gotten a grant?
We have gotten some small grants.
Okay.
Yes, we have. And again, it goes back to time spent. Do you have time to write for a grant?
I've heard those are difficult.
Because I mean, you're looking at the person that does everything in
Yeah.
this rescue that's hands on except for anything technical.
I
So
have,
my husband does everything technical. Okay, he does our Facebook page and Instagram, all our socials, our website, all that.
I'm guessing that's Ward.
That's Ward.
He's on fire right now in the feed, and he's doing a great job. Uh, Tasley, my friend Tasley, like I said, I always announce the shelter directors in Florida, rescue directors that come on the feed and show support. Tasley is from Helping Hounds Project in North Florida. I don't know if you might have saw that, but I raced one of her horses and lost.
I saw
I didn't lose by much though. I was all right. I held my own.
that.
But now, all of these amazing rescues that I've been meeting up and down Florida, when they come on here and they show support, it shows me that there's potential. There's potential for these people to work together and things to happen.
Yep.
Tasley, this is Sherry from Lovey Loaves. She has a rescue out of her home like you do that but hers, all of her animals are special, have special needs. 6 of her 10 right now are in a wheelchair, like Noelle, that's in front of you right now. Noelle is missing the front legs. Noelle, show that beautiful strut.
I don't know about this, Mom.
Look at this
So you
she's
can
beautiful.
see. So she's got one. Okay, so here this is a short nubby, and then this one's a little bit longer. Whoops. Let's see. There
Oh
you
my goodness.
can see. Whoops. I'm not doing so good with the camera. There we go.
You're fine. You're fine. But
The-
every day, guys, these people have to put these 6 dogs out of 10 in a wheelchair. And okay, this is going to be a weird question. How is before that, guys, LoveyLoaves on Facebook, LoveyLoaves on Instagram. Follow and like, please, guys, share them as much as possible. Share this video. This is Sherry with LoveyLoaves. Please remember to do that. What is the process of adopting from you guys? How does the process work?
So most dogs, once they're put up for adoption, of course, they're on our website, they're on Pet Finder or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we have an adoption application that needs to be filled out. We do a telephone interview. We do a home visit. We do references. And, you know, we're just looking for the perfect home so that these guys, they're all, I know that they don't know that anything's different with them, but some of them have come from some really tough situations.
Yep.
Anybody you talk to in rescue will tell you that their dogs, they just had a rough time. You just want the best home. And so we really try to place them in a home where we know, or we feel very confident that it's really the only home that they're going to have. Now, that's tough. Okay.
I can't.
And I tell people no. Okay. It's, something about it isn't right. Sometimes you have to just say, I'm sorry. It's not right. Because we want to do what's best for the dog.
What's the age group of people that adopt from you?
Gosh, we have had it's all over the board.
Is it?
And it really depends on the dog, and what their disability is, what people have worked with. Sometimes people have worked with a bipod before, and so they want another bipod.
Wow.
Some people have experience with blind dogs, and that's what they want to, foster or what they want to adopt. And so, we really try to match those people as best as we possibly can.
This is so interesting. Like I guess there has to be a backstory. How did you and your husband come to how did you come to this? Like, why did you want to do special needs dogs? Like, I need to understand this.
Okay. So many years ago, our first dog that we had when we got married, he lived to be 16 or 17, but he had a cruciate ligament issue. And so we did the surgery. Surgery went fine. 2 weeks later, and muscle mass, he didn't have much muscle mass. The surgery literally crumbled. Like everything just came apart inside. And it just wasn't a good situation. They ended up having to amputate his leg. And I was you would have thought the sky was falling. I was devastated. But the next morning, he's standing up, he walked right outside and went to the bathroom, it was like nothing had happened. Dogs don't have that attachment to their body parts. They don't think of their body the same way we do. Mm-hmm. So at that time, I knew I wanted to be in nonprofit. Dogs were my life anyway. I was already doing a lot of volunteering, that type of thing. So we just decided, look, once you start doing the research, you see, okay, these dogs are coming into the shelter. People are letting these dogs go,
right.
They're going out, and letting a dog that can't walk. Okay. They're putting them on the street. They can't take care of themselves. A regular dog can't take care of themselves. So that was a real eye opener for us. And we just had a heart for it, and we just went with it. And it just sort of exploded, when we started taking dogs, we took 2 dogs within 2 days. Both of them were cart bound.
Mhm.
And it was a learning process, and so we've been doing it ever since. I just love it. I love it. It's what it's a this rescue is a calling.
Oh, oh, oh.
Okay.
You bet your
This
money. You bet your money. It's like,
okay, so I have been called to do this. And so that is our struggle right now, because is even if you take what's going on in the world aside,
yeah,
which of course that has made life a lot more difficult for all of us,
right.
but even if you set that aside, the issue really is that, like with us, like I just want to do this all day long, all day, all day, all day, take care of these dogs, and I don't have the space for it. And I can't get the fosters. I have a handful of fosters and I have a handful of space. And so we just do what we can with what we've got. So until I'm called to have something bigger.
Right. Oh my. So, okay, and I always like to find the intricate details inside of each rescue. So when somebody calls on you guys about an animal,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a normal call. Like most people that get a call, like there's a like in South Florida, there's pit bulls fighting here, and the rescues go and they grab the pit bulls and they bring them in. What in the how does like how are your dogs found? Like how are you notified? Like how these
Well,
stories have to be different.
well, we get them from everywhere.
And let me
Uh,
ask you, I'm sorry to interject.
you
Do
know,
do,
yeah.
do people say to you like, okay, so I'm just using Noelle as an example.
Mhm.
If you go because you at Lovey Loaves, you guys are known for the special needs animals.
Right.
Do 3 or 4 rescues pass on them before you? Probably.
I think it depends on the disability.
Okay.
Because
I've been to about, like I said, 150 shelters outside of Florida, in Florida. I've never even seen really a tripod, maybe once or twice. I really haven't, maybe a couple times.
I mean, I think it really depends. Um, we try to network as best as we can with other rescues that do similar things. They might not have the same specialties. Okay. So like I'm known as the cart lady, and I take all the cart dogs. Okay. And because there are certain things in the daily care that doesn't bother me, and I just love them, and they're my passion. So, but there's also, there's some rescues that are dedicated to deaf dogs. And if I don't have a responsible, educated foster for a deaf dog, then I will contact someone else.
Right,
So it really just depends on the disability, I think.
right,
And, it really all is in timing. So a lot of times when we are open for when we are open to intakes.
right,
So people are like, oh, well, they're taking dogs. Okay, but it doesn't mean that I can take any dog,
right,
because I have to have a trained foster for that dog. So, for instance, you've heard me say Bladder Express. So one of the, issues is, okay, so most of these dogs that are in carts are Bladder Expresses. That means they can't go to the bathroom. You do it for them manually. Okay, it's not a big
whoa,
deal.
whoa, whoa,
Listen,
whoa.
listen. It takes 20 seconds for me to do it. I can do it in 2 dogs. Well, probably actually 4 dogs quicker than my little one can go outside and find a spot to lift his leg. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I can't find the fosters, but it's easier for me just to take care of them.
Yeah,
So, but in order for me to take a down dog or a wheelchair dog, I have to have somebody, or I have to have a space where they're capable of taking care of them.
how did you have time? How did you have time for this phone call?
Actually,
My good, you actually have to manually help them go to the bathroom
but
too.
it's not a big deal. It's not. It sounds worse than it is. It's no big
If
deal.
I invite myself to your place,
Absolutely.
can I do this? Can
I
I do
will. Yes. It's no big deal.
Wow.
Listen, if I can do it and I can teach Ward to do it and I can teach my 71-year-old mama to do it, you can do it.
But Sherry, I'm sure you and Ward do a phenomenal job expressing your daily life. But you got to do even better. Like this is real. Like, oh my God. Like just thinking about when you like I made a big stink to my friend Ralph from Senior Dog Rescue up there in North Florida. I was like, when you wake up, you got 32 senior dogs. You can wake up to so many surprises that like you wouldn't believe it. But like you wake up and like you gotta put carts on people, you gotta manually make them go to the bathroom, like
And you have to think about all of that prior to your regular life, because regular life is still going on as well.
yep.
You know, I'm raising a 7-year-old, okay? And we homeschool, but you know, she goes to school 2 days a week. Well, in a normal day, you know, two days a week. So, you know, you got to get up early enough for all those things to occur.
You know, my friend,
before you can step out.
2 people who follow me to all these rescues, because when I go to a rescue or a shelter, they always challenge me to something. Like the one shelter I went to, I had to give one of their most hyperactive dogs a bath blindfolded. Then I did a pieing contest against another dog, which I got slaughtered in. They had said, everyone was saying, "There's your challenge, Chris, or make the dog go to the bathroom." I'm like, but it's amazing.
You're a dad, you can do it.
Oh, I agree. I know I can do it. I guess the one thing that is always going to be bothersome to me as I meet more and more of you people, and the most selfless people, the argument builds for itself as a collective argument to the state of Florida or wherever. How the hell are you? No, like I mean that's a bad word, but like, how in the world have you guys not gotten funding at all this time?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know, we did go through a phase where we were writing for grants and, you know, looking for assistance. Again, it just, for us personally, it goes back to numbers and it goes back to the amount of time that it takes to write for a grant.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have my hands, I'm it. You know, my hands are, I'm doing everything. I'm doing finances. I'm doing daily dog stuff. I'm taking the dogs to the vet. I'm taking them to rehab. I'm doing the rehab here. So, you know, I'm doing emails. I'm doing raffles. I'm doing, you know, all those things I'm doing. And there's not enough time in a day to write for a grant, especially when it's something that you really don't know if you really qualify for because you don't have the numbers. The situation's not quite right.
Yeah, I hate to say, but like the state funds for less impactful things.
Yes.
I guess I don't. If you don't have to answer this question, and I'm gonna ask it because I am from Jersey and I'm going to ask. Just kidding. Okay. Are you guys using money out of your own pocket at the end of the day? At the end of the day?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, that's what's going to happen to get property at this point. And that's the struggle, is because everything is so expensive that we personally can't afford what is out there, and what would work. We can't afford it. And so that's the struggle.
In the year or so that I've had Jordan's Way, I grew up a sports guy, and more that I reflect on some of the people I'm meeting and I'm like, they pay millions of dollars for a guy to shoot a basket, but like, or hit a baseball, but like the stuff that you're going through on a daily basis, like, like I can't, like, so some of the stuff you said to me, I'm like, oh my God, like the wheelchairs, the bladders, manually like, oh my God, most rescues I've been to, and it's nothing against them, I love them all, they just let the dogs out, but that's all they have to do. They go to the bathroom, let them out. Like, you're dealing with challenges that are like, Luann, you said it. Luann is one of my friends on your feed. She, I don't know if you ever saw, I did yoga for an awareness thing with the animals, and I can't do yoga, but but she said some really nice words. Luann said, "Whoa, you are amazing. I had one senior dog, and it was tough before he passed." And then a lot of people are saying a lot of other nice things. Thank you guys so much for joining. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk to you about. People will start asking that question. Do you guys receive donations on your website? Is it via PayPal? If Ward is watching, because I'm sure he is, because he is nonstop.
He is.
He's
He's
awesome.
awesome.
He is.
He rocks it.
Put your PayPal link on there. Put your website on there, Ward. Put your Facebook or Instagram handle if you can. All that stuff is important, guys. This is one of those rescues, guys, that I'm going to go visit. And when I go visit, you guys are going to see me make a dog go to the bathroom without giving it some kind of chocolate. But like,
so that's good because Ward just asked me downstairs before we got on. He said, "I don't know what he thinks he's going to find from coming here." So there you go.
The community needs to know you guys. Like, you guys are unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, and you have a 7-year-old grandkid. That's, yeah, I know they're making fun of my yoga, but everyone's saying they can't wait for that challenge. That should be interesting. But truthfully, it's like if people are watching, and my followers are now blended with your followers. What can you tell them about LoveyLoaves? I can't even say it's different than the others because it's like I can't ask that question to you. You guys have like Chris. Our dogs don't have front legs. They're in wheelchairs. I got to manually bring them to the bathroom. It's like there's so much, but really people are watching, and I'm so happy that everyone's watching. I know it's kind of earlier on a Sunday, but please, Sherry from LoveyLoaves. Talk to the people. Tell them what they need to know about LoveyLoaves.
Gosh, well, we are dedicated. We take all special needs. We take blind, deaf, carded dogs, amputees, anything that's medically complex, which is literally anything.
Yeah.
We are not breed specific, but we do end up with a lot of the same type of breed because we take a lot of cart dogs. So a lot of dachshunds. I have all dachshunds in my house except for 3.
Wow.
Okay. And that's just because they have the longer backs. The Shih Tzus, I've got a baby Shih Tzu downstairs. That's just precious. So, anybody that has a longer back.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. Thank you, Ward, for putting that up there. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry to ask you to do things. There's people saying there's a blind dog at Miami-Dade shelter now. Yeah.
Here we go. Yep.
Here you go. But I guess this is going to be a hard question too. Like, can you tell us like a really good success story that you had?
Gosh, success stories. I have a million of them.
I'm saying it's probably a tough one for you to pick.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, they're all a success story, every single one of them, because they're living life to the fullest.
Right.
Okay. So they're all success story. Some dogs we get, they're older and they're in bad shape. And so we do what we can for them. And, sometimes we just never think that they're going to get a home, and they get a home right away, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of really great stories. If you go to our YouTube channel, okay, we don't have a lot on there, but we've got some really great success stories. We've got Sassy. She's an amazing success story. I'm trying to think. Minnie is a great one as well. Sam is a great one. They're all dogs that have either been rehabilitated, or have gone through treatment and have just come out and are just living life to the fullest.
It's awesome. Hey, Ward, thank you for answering that question. Erica asked, where did you say you were located? Ward said, we're East Orlando, Florida, with a foster home network scattered all over Central Florida area. Yes, thank you so much for grabbing that. I was going to ask you that question before he tackled. Yep. He's on his game right now. He had his coffee today. But now, tonight, I'm actually talking to Larissa Wall from the Hallmark Channel that I was telling you before, which I'm super excited about. But I thought I had it all, like, when I was going to tell her about all the places I visited. But, like, I'm going to have to tell her about you guys and be like, I talked to somebody, like, 2 hours ago, and it was like, what? I didn't know how many cart dogs you had. I did not know I was speaking to the cart lady. I didn't know those details. I had no idea what I was jumping into here, but I am super excited to have your friendship too. The other thing I have to ask you, when am I invited?
Well, you can come whenever you want. You just you just have to come afterwards work because he works from home,
Okay.
and my dogs will be crazy wild. So you can come whenever you want.
But let me know because I will be in
All right.
Orlando.
All
I'm
right. We'll look at the schedule and see what we can do.
deal because that challenge is in. It is in. I can't wait to see that. Now, can I ask you what is probably the biggest? God, it's probably gonna be. These questions are hard to ask because you're different. Your rescue is totally different. What is the biggest barrier you guys have right now?
Space.
Space.
Yeah. There's always money out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't have funding, but the dogs come in and you post and you just work as hard as you can.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough to pay the bill, you do a raffle. You sell stuff. You just beat the path the best that you can. But I cannot make fosters appear, and I can't make them appear in the right place at the right time, right location. Um, and so that's why we really need property. We need
Yeah.
property so that I can do it, because then it's just so much easier. They're just here, and we can just take care of them.
Why do you think that? Do you think fosters are hard to come by because they don't know? Like it's like the message. Because I always say there's a very small community of rescues and shelters and the people that follow them. And then there's that whole other world out there that we haven't really tapped into and said like, hey guys, look,
Yep.
like there's breeders over there charging a fortune and they got beautiful dogs, but there's a whole other world in this rescue and shelter, and I just don't think we've gotten to them yet.
Right. Absolutely. I think in my case, I think people are scared.
Yeah,
I think they are. I think I've said before that we don't operate like regular rescues operate. And so when people want to foster for us, they go through the same process that someone that wants to adopt does.
hey
So,
Ralph, stay right there. I'm so sorry. Keep going. My friend Ralph's on here, and he's the one from the Senior Dog Rescue.
oh, that's okay.
Go ahead, keep
So,
going.
so we tried really hard to match the person that wants to foster with what they're comfortable fostering with. But most rescues don't do that
Right.
because that's not an issue. And so, we are here. My phone is never turned off. I mean, you know, fosters text me in the middle of the night when there's issues. I mean, there's support here.
Yeah.
But because we're so different in what we do, people don't know that. And
Right.
so you don't know what you don't know. And when you see a dog in a cart and you hear, "Oh my gosh, I have to express the bladder. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. That's gross."
Yeah.
You know, they don't realize that it takes 2 seconds and it's easier than letting the dogs out back. You
Yep.
know, so it's a lot of times it's I think fear.
I just had an idea, Sherry. Get excited because my ideas are usually pretty bad. No, but, no, but I'm
Okay.
serious. So Ralph from Senior Dog Rescue, who I think I told you about before we started
Right.
talking, really has over 30 animals in his house. Him and his wife Gail have a rescue out of their home, and a lot of. If you guys did a side by side show every day, but it's like, no, just hear me out. Hear me out. Focus. Side by side like this. There's Ralph, there's you. And it's almost like it should be called, what the hell's happening in your house today? Like, and like Ralph will be like, listen, I got this dog's throwing up, this one's, you know, crapping, pooping, everything. This one is, this one's in the front yard. We don't even know where he's going. Like he's going sideways. Like
Mhm.
like half of his dogs are like blind, and I'm like, and you wake up and you're like, this guy, the wheels fell off his cart. Like, like I can't get him to pee. Like
Uh-huh.
you,
Uh-huh.
you guys need to connect. You guys can have a real,
Right.
like, I don't know what you call it. It's almost like coffee break. Call it coffee break. Where you guys have like, because you guys probably have only like 15 minutes a day where you're like, all
There
right,
you go.
what
Yep.
happened? What happened to your place today? Oh, you didn't want to know. Like, what I mean? Like, but when I asked him about the vacation, he's like, I got 30 dogs here, Chris. They're all seniors. How am I going to take a vacation?
Right. Absolutely. Right. That's why I said I'm so fortunate, right?
But no,
Although I don't get a vacation this year. I don't think anybody gets a vacation this year.
right? You and Ralph need a show. Like, you guys need to connect. And like, he's got a good following on Facebook. You got a good following on Facebook, and you guys are close enough where it's like he's in North Florida, you're in Orlando, you're probably a few hours away from each other. And I always joke with him. He reminds me of one of the guys from Duck Dynasty. Like, he has that bearded look. Like, you guys would have a great show. Ralph just comments. He goes, yes. I'm serious. Gail, Ralph, Sherry, and Ward, you guys need to come up with a show called like Coffee Breakers. It's got to be called something where it's just funny because you guys together run like your own nursing home. Like, it's incredible. Like, I'm serious, guys. Connect this.
Well, in some aspects, it can be kind of like a nursing home, but I'm resodding my yard for like is this what, honey, like the 4th time or the 5th time? Because they dig big ruts and dig big holes, and their carts make crazy and kill the grass. So,
The one thing I will say is you all have a good sense of humor. Now, let me tell you about Ralph's sense of humor. You want to hear something funny? So, yeah. I've never driven in sugar sand before. Never did it. So, when I got up to his house, he's in the backwoods of Jacksonville, wherever it is. And I got stuck in the front of his house in the sugar sand. My truck would not move. And I called him, and I was like, Ralph, like, I'm kind of stuck. And he goes, oh, yeah, I see you. And I'm like, I'm looking around like, I don't see me. Him and Gail have the front of their house on their big screen 55-inch TV, a camera, and it's hooked up to their TV, and they're watching me get stuck. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's just like, oh, we do this all the time. This is like, people come up here, they get stuck all the time. We can see it on our TV, and we just watch them spin their wheels, basically. And I was like, I was a victim of that. But, but oh my God, that's so. Ralph just commented about something you said. He goes, what is grass? That's right. He's got sugar sand like everywhere up there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But Luann says, doggy talk senior edition. I mean, are your dogs young?
Most of them are old.
Oh, are they? Okay.
I don't get very many puppies. I have Noelle, and I have one other puppy right now that's she's 9 weeks. But we don't get a lot of puppies.
No.
We get mostly, we get the throwaways. They're over 6.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ralph, I don't know if I said it when you got on the feed, but the reason I thought you guys would have a great show is she has just special needs dogs. That's what she has in her rescue. I just can't imagine the stories you guys can tell on just an every morning basis. Like, I think it would be hilarious. I think people would tune in all the time just to see what's going on. Like, if you guys ever did an event together, where the hell would you hold it? Like, I don't even know. Like, it would be held in an RV because nobody would be like going anywhere. Like, but it is amazing. Like, you guys, all of you guys I've met from north to south to now we're in Orlando, just amazing people. And if you guys are watching this feed, I'm on with Sherry from LoveyLoaves. Please like them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram. How has any raffles or events that you have had been affected by COVID?
I think it mostly just adoptions. We've lost quite a few of our monthly donors just because, it's such an unsure time. They don't know when they're going back to work and things like that. So we've lost quite a bit of our monthly donations, but we just recently did a raffle, so that helped out a little bit. And I'm hoping we've got dogs up for adoption that I think are going to be placed in homes soon. So I'm looking forward to finishing those adoptions and getting that done, getting those taken care of.
Yep. Yeah, and guys, again, I know Ward put it up there, but they do have a website, they do have a PayPal that you can donate to. Do you have an Amazon wish list?
We do. Yes. Can
you tell them where to find that?
Ward can tell them where to find that.
Ward's downstairs going, no, she can't.
Yep. He's like,
But no, for the people that are on right now, guys, please continue to share this video. Let's get a good number of viewers on here in the next couple of days too. Let's share it to groups. There's a lot of groups out there, pet related. I am not 100% sure if there's cart groups, but if there are,
there are.
Check out those groups. And for Ralph and all the other shelter directors that are on here, if you can share onto your shelter page, you guys know how big I am in cross promotion, everyone working together. I really appreciate that if you can put those videos on your pages as well. I appreciate everyone that came on here, especially you, Sherry. I hope that we can continue this friendship and talk more. I talk to a lot of the rescue directors weekly on live feed, so there's more and more viewers that can keep coming and talking to you and getting to know your rescue more. And I hope that, like I said, I'm going to be in Orlando this week, so if you guys want me to stop by, I have no problem trying to milk one of your dogs.
All right. It sounds good.
Terrible. They're terrible, though. But yeah, if there's anything else you want, I'd like you to end the note. Whatever else you want to say, just let it out.
No, just thank you so much for listening. I so really appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Just because I think, it needs to happen. And I think, that's one of the things in rescue is that it's hard sometimes to work with everybody.
Yep.
And I like this because you're bringing the community together. You're bringing us together. So I like that. I'm behind that. And, anything that I can do for you or for any other rescue, we're very rescue friendly. So if there's anything that we can do, just give us a call.
Yep. The one thing I'm on a mission to do right now, and I forgot to mention it the whole time, and I'm surprised Erica didn't yell at me for it. I am actually going rescue to rescue, shelter to shelter, because I think I'm trying to get 1 million subscribers on Jordan's Way Charities YouTube, because I always said if people don't want to work together, at least we can have a channel. So like when I come to people's rescues, I can go live on YouTube and I have 1 million people behind me that say like, oh, they need this, Amazon wish list that, like boom that. I always said that number one, rescue should be funded, and that's one of my long-term goals. I don't know how that's going to happen. Maybe it's funded through the actual community and not the state, and it's like something that every director and every rescue director in Florida is like on the board of directors for this whole campaign. Something where it's like, because it's unacceptable. To me, it's actually egregious that we don't have, that rescues aren't funded, so you guys don't have to do raffles every time you're in trouble. Like that's, because you're not alone in that. Everyone tells me, oh, if they get in trouble, they have to do like some kind of walk or they do some kind of event that raises money, and then they're okay. My friend Ralph from the Senior Dog Rescue told me like there are times where he wants to close up shop, and then like some check will come in the mail, and they're like, oh, thank God, that's just it's egregious. It's not how it should be, especially with the selfless acts that you guys are performing. So yeah, if you guys are watching and if you don't go on the Jordan's Way Charities YouTube and subscribe, Sherry's gonna be very upset, and Ward's gonna have a lot to say about it. But no, I really do appreciate it, and let me know. I'll be there this week in Orlando, so I have no problem stopping by, meeting you and your husband and having a good time. But I will talk to you again, and we should let me know when you go on live again, because like I said, I go weekly with a lot of Florida directors, shelters, and owners like that. So I love doing this. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to you again. Thank you, Sherry.
Bye.
Bye.